So I wanted to do a little project about what goes into making a song, actually writing the song and recording the song. So it's kind of a personal inside look at what goes on when you write a song, and some of you folks that are not musicians may not know the process, but so I figured I'd have a little fun and actually write the thing and record it on film, so you can see what goes on. And so there are a lot of different ways to write a song, which it's one of the more interesting things about writing. You could have lyrics and then put some chords to it, or you could have some chords. You could actually record music and then listen to the recording and put lyrics to it and sing to it, or you could sit down with an instrument and record it at the same time, or not, actually write the lyrics and the chords at the same time. That's what I'm trying to say. So there's, a multitude of different ways to write, and no way is the right way, Lately I've found that if you record a bunch of music, you get it near completion, or like bass, drums, and guitar, is kind of a cool way, because you get a certain feeling and a certain mood that you didn't know existed when if you write it with just one instrument. You might feel that it's a little bit more energetic than you anticipated, and you might write the lyrics a little bit different. So I kind of like that way of writing, but this particular song that I'm gonna write, I did start it out with guitar and writing the guitar chords and the lyrics at the same time. And so anyways, I hope you enjoy it. This is Rod Johnson from Music Talk, and and have a great day, and I hope you enjoy the video process and the process of writing a song, and writing a song and recording it. What are you doing? Got some chords that I'm kind of messing with. Nobody wants to be alone. just me? Just me if I grew to be alone. I don't know. I don't know. Kind of the chorus. I'm not a loving man. I haven't got a plan anymore. I'm not a loving man. I haven't got a plan anymore. So that's what I do. The first run through, when I write a song, I do a verse and a chorus, and then I generally stop, because after that, my lyrical ideas kind of run out. And if I leave this alone and let it sit, the next time around, I come up with a good verse. You know, so I think it's important not to just keep on writing. You know, you just do some, like an initial guideline of what you're doing, and then see where it goes. Anyways. Hey there. It's a different day now, and I'm a little refreshed. And so I'm at work, and I shouldn't be songwriting at work. But anyways, so I get this, a bridge part that I kind of wrote. So. I don't have the lyrics down yet, but. I'm just a broken down man. Maybe I'll change the lyrics or whatever, I don't know. But and then back into the maybe some lead. Something like that. Anyways, you just never know where you're gonna come up with these ideas, but they just come through. Anyways, and I'll piece it together later when I record the guitar part. All right, peace. Hey there. So I'm gonna do my first track to my new song that I think I'm gonna call it I'm Not a Lovin' Man. I think I'm gonna call it that. We'll see, things could change. So I just want to show you what I use here for DAW. So, this is Reason propeller head, and I choose this because because it's kind of like See how you got wires in the back of the, it's just like what musicians use in real life. And not too complicated. And Todd Rundgren uses it, and it's, if it's good enough for him, it's good enough for me. So my first track, I'm gonna do a guitar track, and what I do is I'm going direct, not using an amp, because I have amp models in there that sound pretty good. And you know, if I do like 30 seconds to a minute that are pretty good on this track, and then I make a mistake, I don't have to get rid of it. I can then go to this track and continue on until, you know, bounce back and forth. And so that's what I do. Okay, so let's get busy. So one of the first things that I do is, you know, I tune the guitar, which I just did, but I find the tempo, because I'm gonna do it to a click track, you know, and I'm just doing one instrument at a time. You know, it's best to do that, you know. So, sounds a little fast, so slow that down. So that doesn't sound bad. It's kind of a jazzy tune, so that's why I'm using this hollow body. Otherwise, if it was a more rockin' tune, I'd, you know, I'd use a Les Paul or a Strat or something like that, you know. So here we go. This beginning riff, my son was playing that. He's quite the good guitar player, and I go, "Hey, what is that? I like that." He's like, "Nothing." So I said, "Can I use that for a new song?" He said, "Sure." Of course, he's gonna play on this song also. So this guitar will be like the left speaker, and his guitar will be the right speaker. So let's see what we can do here. So that stopped around 5:03. I might, you know, end up changing the, you know, cutting it a little bit, because this type of song should be like 3.5 minutes. So it's a little long. Anyways, I take these two tracks that I did and I make them into one track. You know, everybody records differently. You know, it's because I do this, a lot of this by myself. And I track it with a click track because, well, I'm not a good drummer. So it helps, you know, for me anyways, you know. If I had a good drummer, I would love not to use a click track, you know, like I did back in my day. Just going into the recording studio with a drummer that kept good time. That's not me. So anyways, the idea is to record a song, get the idea going, you know. So now we have everything on one track, and I delete the other guitar track because it's blank. You don't need that. And then I take this, and I quantize it, and I listen back and make corrections as needed. And by the way, as I'm recording these tracks, I don't add any effects because early on when I started recording, I would add effects as I was going, and then I noticed that my latency was way out of control. So what I discovered was that if you record all your tracks, all of them, drums, everything, with no effects, don't add any effects, you don't have too much of a problem with any latency. So you add that stuff when you're completely done recording all the instruments. So even with, sometimes I go direct with a heavy guitar, but I don't use any effects, so it sounds clean like this until the, you know, when I'm done recording and I'm ready to add effects, I can make it very heavy if I want to. But anyways, that's that. So that's my plan, is I'm gonna make this song shorter because it doesn't really need to be that long. So anyways, I'm gonna spend a few minutes alone with this and see if I can come up with something and cut some of these parts out. Because I don't think it's, you know, people don't have that type of attention span, unless it's a really interesting song and you got a reason to make it that long. Yeah, there's no, look at some of your most famous early Beatles songs. They're 2 minutes long. I mean, they do everything that is needed in those 2 minutes, you know. So anyways, making a short song is always a good thing, right? I cut the song down to be like 3 minutes and 45 seconds, and it's better. And I found the bridge that I wrote, it just didn't really go. That happens. I just cut it out, throw it away, and well, what do you think, Chippy? You think it's okay? Yeah, and it's not bad. So, man, I got a vacuum in here. Oh, doggy. All right, so I'm probably gonna do some vocals now. I'll take Chippy back to the house. Okay? All right. Ready to do the vocals now, and I'm using a ribbon mic. I used to use a super condenser mic all the time, but I found that ribbon mics are a little warmer, so it's just a preference. And I do this the same way. I have 2 different tracks, so if I have a good part, I keep that and stop and then continue, you know, until I get all the way through the song. So Anyways. Nobody wants to be alone, especially when you never pick up the phone. Is it just me, or have I grown to be alone? I don't know what I'm going through. Maybe I need time to think things through, yeah. So then I listen back what I just did, see if any of it's any good. I'm not your loving man, I can't hang on anymore. I'm not your loving man, so I'm walking out that door. The next thing that I do is I do vocal doubling, but I don't like copy paste or anything like that. I sing the parts that I want doubled, like in the chorus. I sing them again, so it's organic and it's actually different, a little bit different, you know. So that's what I'm going to do now. I listen to the song and determine if I need to double the vocal there or not. Usually in the verses, I don't do that in the verses. I'll be working on my backup vocals now. So this is what I do. I usually do 4 tracks. The first 2 are the same note, and I pan it left and right speaker, and I sing it, separate. I don't copy paste anything. And then the 3rd and 4th track are my second harmony note, and again, record them individually. So I don't really know what I'm gonna do. I usually sing the first track where I want backups, and then kind of follow suit for the rest of them. Okay, here we go. Ooh. Ooh, ooh. That wasn't bad, so I'll do it one more time on the other track. I'm not your loving man. And again. Track 4. I'm not your loving man. I'm not your loving man. And that's it. Background vocals are done, except for editing, you know. Now I sit back and I take all the vocals and edit them. and then I can continue with other instruments. First thing I do for editing vocals is kind of shrink these down. You can see the volume on all these vocals is a little low. So I take them all and boost up the volume like that. All right. Oh, the other thing is there's usually a really small amount of latency that if I blow it up, I can see that You see right there, it's, let me see, right around there. Or it's not terrible, but if I just move them all back just a hair, take snap off, like that. It's a very small amount. And then I give it a listen. Nobody wants to be alone, especially when you never pick up the phone. Is it just me, or have I grown to be alone? Sounds awful. I don't know what I'm going through, so I need some time to think things through. And I'm not sure which way to go. Maybe that way? Let's see. Going through, I need some time to think things through. Yeah, that sounds better. If it's just a game, I'm not playing anyway. And again, I add no effects until the very end of the song, because it will add latency to like the drums and everything. So the next thing I do is I mute all the vocals but the lead vocal. And that's the beginning. The pitch edit, I hit that. And again, that's not auto-tune, that's just let's see here. It just nobody wants to be. See that once? Not great. So I bring that down a little. Nobody wants to be alone. I keep some of the natural stuff, you know, that especially when you never pick up the phone. Let's see here. Never pick up the phone when you never pick up the phone. Is it just me, or have I grown to be alone? Grown to be alone. So let me see, I go a little flat in here. Grown to be alone. Let me see. Be alone. Grown to be a. Needs a cut in there somewhere. Need to be alone. Maybe there. Let's see. Be alone. Grown to be. So correct that. To be alone. Almost.
That's got to come up a little.
To be alone.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm going through.
I don't know what to. Yeah. Oh. Edit that. Edit transpose note.
I don't know what I'm going through.
Through. It's a little funky.
Through.
It's better. See, it still sounds natural. And that's what I like. I don't like any auto-tune. I don't like it to sound like.
I need some time to. I need some. I need some time to think things through.
All right, so you get the idea. That's pretty much what I do, and I'm gonna continue doing all the lead vocal, the vocal double, and all the background vocals, just like this. And that's it. That's how I do that. So next track will either be bass or well, I don't know what it is yet. It depends on the availability of I have twin boys. One plays piano and the other one plays guitar and bass. And I also play bass, so if he can't do the bass track, I will. And I definitely wanted him to do the other guitar track. So, all right. So I just finished editing all the vocals, and this is kind of what it sounds like. This is still raw with no effects. All right.
I'm not playing
Started around the chorus.
anyway. If I'm just a pawn, well, I'm losing you in every way. I'm not your loving man. I can't hang on anymore.
It's a vocal doubling.
I'm not your loving man, so I'm walking out that door.
Harmonies. So you get the idea. So next is like bass or guitar or
I'm not your loving
probably
man.
bass. I don't like to lay the drums down until
I'm not your loving
I have bass
man.
in there. Anyways, until next time. Okay, it's Sunday. Doing one of my favorite things on a Sunday. Have some coffee. Do a bass track. And bass tracks I like doing because, well, bass is my original instrument and it's the easiest instrument for me, so I can enjoy this.
Nobody wants to be alone, especially when you're that's that.
Hey there, so I have all the drums mic'd. Took me a little while. I going into my interface down there. And by the way, this is a budget studio. A lot of my mics are Behringers because I find they're, you know, inexpensive and they sound pretty good. So I have Behringers on everything. I got a, not everything, but I got a inside, outside kick and a top and bottom snare. And I just got one mic on each of these and two overheads that are evenly placed. And over there I have a room mic. You know, it's the basics, but it does the job. Anyways, I'm gonna try doing a track, and like I said, I'm not a drummer, but I do the best I can. And so here we go. Okay, take 4. Let me see here. Hey there, so I'm having my my twin boys do the rest of the parts here, and so this is Dylan on guitar, and obviously a Sting fan, and Colin will come out in a little while and do the piano. Yeah. Kind of take it from that spot.
Nobody wants to be alone, especially when you never pick up the phone. Is it just me? Have I grown to be alone?
Nice.